Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, it is go time with the one and only Mega Crasher. Let's just jump right into the video, baby. Woo! But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time viewing my content and you want to see more of me, then be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. That way you guys will be better notified when you see me upload next. And let's see, ladies and gentlemen, if we can aim for 8 likes here for this video. And finally, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so in today's video, I want to present you guys with a long-awaited Registeel guide, everything you need to know about it. So without further ado, let's now proceed with the basics. Now, on to the stats, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to Registeel, it is going to have a stamina of base 160, attack at a base 124, and its defense is going to be at a relatively staggering base 237. And I say staggering because when you compare that stat to its other two stats, clearly its defense is going to be the best out of the 3. So if you guys are on the hunt for a 100% Registeel, then what you need to know is obviously what is its 100% CP when you encounter it. Well, if it's at level 20, aka non-weather boosted, it is going to have a CP of 1,292. Now, if it is weather boosted by snow, which, you know, given that it's summer, I really don't think we have too much to worry about when it comes to it being weather boosted, but say if it somehow is weather boosted, it is going to have a total of CP of 1,615 at level 25. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so now we get to Registeel's resistances and weaknesses. Now, here's the thing, it's a steel typing, so obviously by proxy, it is going to have a crap ton of resistances. I mean, look at the chart, okay? It's resistant to the likes of bug, grass, normal, rock, fairy, flying, as well as having a double resistance to poison, which translates to an immunity in the main series games. It also resists its own type being steel, dragon, ice, and psychic. Yeah, that's a lot. So there is a lot of types right off the bat that is going to be shut down when it comes to countering Registeel. Now, the 3 types that happens to be weak against happens to be fire, ground, and fighting. So you need to absolutely spam those 3 types in order for you to deal super effective damage to a really tanky Pokemon like Registeel. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so now we move on to Registeel's moveset, and we're going to be talking about its quick moves first. It has the quick moves Metal Claw and Rock Smash. Metal Claw's DPS is that of 13.7, whereas Rock Smash's DPS is that of 11.5. So clearly, also thanks to Stab, Metal Claw is going to be the most optimal move for using Registeel on offense. And now we get to the charge moves here. It is going to have access to the likes of Hyper Beam, Flash Cannon, and Focus Blast. Hyper Beam's DPS is that of 34.9, whereas Flash Cannon's DPS is that of 37.5, and Focus Blast's DPS is that of 35. So all of these figures are relatively close to each other, but Flash Cannon obviously is going to be the best choice out of the 3, not only because of its stab, but also because of the fact that its DPS rating is the highest out of the 3. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to present you guys with my top 5 picks when it comes to Registeel's best counters. And coming in at number 5, we have Blast Burn Charizard. Now, this Pokemon right here is surprisingly effective when it comes to battling against legendary Pokemon and just raid battles in general, you know. With the combination of Fire Spin and Blast Burn, it is actually a pretty terrifying Pokemon that you should not underestimate and overlook. And this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the wild card here, because the only way that you can get Blast Burn is through the Charmander Community Day event that took place previously. So, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have access to Blast Burn, then Charizard won't be as good of a Pokemon to use, but there are plenty of other Pokemon that is suitable for fighting against Registeel, such as the next entrant. And coming in next at number 4, we have ourselves Groudon. Now, the reason why Groudon is somewhat low here on the list for it being a legendary, and a legendary tied with Kyogre of having the highest CP out of all legendary Pokemon, is because of the fact that it doesn't resist any of Registeel's attacks, but with the combination of Mudshot and Earthquake, it is definitely a Pokemon that should not be overlooked, and if you have it in your party, then I would highly recommend that you use it, because not only is it a legendary badass, but it has a really good ground-type move pool to cause super effective damage against Registeel. And coming in next at number 3, we have ourselves Machamp. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best non-legendary counter to Registeel. With the combination, ladies and gentlemen, of counter and dynamic punch, this Pokemon will lay the smackdown on Registeel. And not to mention, this Pokemon is just a really good fighting machine all around, a really good generalist when it comes to offense. This Pokemon is crazy good, and you would be silly if you didn't utilize Machamp, if you have one, against a Registeel in a Registeel raid. Hell, have an army of Machamp, because Machamp is amazing and it will clean house, and it surely won't disappoint you whatsoever. So coming up next, we actually have ourselves a split entry for first and second place, that being Entei and Moltres. Yes, these two Pokemon, without a shadow of a doubt, are the best to use against Registeel. Both of them are amazing Fire-type legendary Pokemon with amazing movesets of Fire Spin and Overheat. It seems like that these two Pokemon right here are often heavily debated as which is the best Fire-type. Some say Entei, some say Moltres. You know, I say if you have them both, just go and use them, because these two Pokemon's DPS is very, very, very high, and these Pokemon will definitely leave Registeel scorched, melted, and defeated for sure. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that right there is going to conclude this video on what you need to know about Registeel. Now, I want to point out real quick that there are loads of other Pokemon that you can use that will do you just fine when it comes to battling against Registeel. You know, you got the likes of Hariyama, Breloom, Flareon, Blaziken. The list goes on, because this Pokemon, although has a lot of resistances, it has very exploitable weaknesses. And I might add that there are a lot of commonly good fire, ground, and fighting type Pokemon that you can use, and you'll be just fine when it comes to Registeel raids. So much so, as long as you have the numbers. You know, you can be the best Pokemon Go player in the world, but you can't solo Registeel. It's impossible. I mean, like, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody solo a legendary Pokemon before, but you know what? If I ever see the day come, then I will happily eat a slice of humble pie, because I'm going to enjoy seeing a legendary Pokemon be soloed by a crazy player. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this video. So I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next upload.